At first, I was
Runnin' with the devil.
before I and
You really got me now.
and I.
Keep talking about love.
No, not at all.
I'm the one
That got.
is crying.
Now this
The atomic bomb.
came around and
Feel your love tonight.
over and over again. I was a
Little dreamer.
that night. And
Just around 11 o'clock.
and
I'm on fire.
I told him
Baby, you're no good.
I
Dance the night away.
that night until the morning came again. I woke up and I screamed.
Somebody give me a doctor.
The paramedic said to me
Bottoms up.
off the ground. They told me that I would be
Again.
and that I couldn't
Lighting up the skies.
with my lighter at night. I was somewhere in New Mexico, my hometown, and I looked up and I saw this fly buzzing around. I said to it, Get. I wasn't sure if I even wanted to be. It was at this point where I started to think about it turned me on. So I got up and I combed my hair with my fingers. And I thought, I want some help. I must have been one of those that had just that old Romeo and Juliet mindset. I thought, I wish I was Romeo. I was sidetracked for a little bit and I thought, I'm Jewish. Am I following the... I had a... I couldn't take. I was in my bed thinking,
Could this be magic?
my life, that is? I started counting sheep.
A simple rhyme.
I fell asleep. So months later, I'm just walking around and I come across this that I had ever been on. I could smell the teenagers who were watching
Greatest thing you've ever seen.
in their parents' house. A rabbi was going door to door. He was leaving flyers that said,
You sinners, swing.
or now. The fence in someone's yard and this guy, 6'7", comes and
Push come to shove.
and I thought,
This is love.
I mean, humans. Nothing was like anymore. I only had
1 foot out the door.
when I broke down and fell to my knees. I asked,
Where have all the good times gone?
I thought about hanging him. My hand, that is. And so I went down to the... Nobody was there in the sanctuary. And I told God
Secret.
that I had been keeping from everyone else. I hadn't gone to church really except for Easter and Christmas, and that was just since my birth. That's my family thing. We never went to church. And because of that, I just thought that I was just thinking about the... and just how we wanted to be. She wanted me to play. For her in my basement with all my amps and my music. I felt like she was the one. I must have been.
Big bad Billy, sweet William now.
Now I squashed that! By Roy Orbison started playing on the radio and I loved him dearly. I was born in... And on my 30th birthday, I remember that I was... I got on a plane and I was headed towards... And my best friend Jimmy was there to welcome me. I called him. He handed me a cigarette and we both collapsed on these amazing recliner chairs. We talked about our crushes in the past and who we considered our... Mine was Mrs. Jacobson from 7th grade. I was 12 years old. To graduate. Maybe me and her could date. But she left school before I could graduate. And she became... an escort, if you will. And so my house became... I just wasn't for her. She was in her 40s or 50s by this point.
Why can't this be love?
I thought over and over again. Jimmy says to me, "Come on, man. My dreams weren't just anymore." So I spent the rest of my just trying to find a way to get. She comes walking in just at the local bar. She's drunk. She's got her bra over her shoulder. And I thought, that's not her. But she might be a little crazy, a little. They locked her in one of those nut houses. She could be. But do you know what they say about... They say that you're... I went down to... for their sand. I got something stuck under my toenail and it became the... For a month. I had to get rid of my toenail, but it... to get rid of it. Besides the blood that replaced the infection. I told them to... finish what you started. To remove the rest of the toenail. It was getting all... the... in 3 separate cracked sections. I went into... after getting back home. Mom had her famous... on the table when I got home for Christmas. She said that... was coming, but we've been saying that since the Mind Scare of 2012. She had been... around with politics. I was surprised that she didn't just go... the whole county searching for him. My father, he just gambled my college fund. Despite all that, her house, my room, it was my own. I was of that sucker multiple times a week. I was just trying to find the perfect place to live. The American dream. However, finding a place to live wasn't really a big concern. I got the job that would allow me to get my own place, and I just felt like I was on... I broke all the seals, all the way up to the... on the deal. I told my mother. And she said just to be really careful in the real world. I was 31 years old, and I told my mom... Mom, I have you. I moved to... where I spent all my money. Like my father, but not on casinos. Had me all... I had... After that, I saved just enough to be able to come back home. On my way back, I ended up... for something I didn't do. I told them to... and that'll help you find the real criminal. I have a... We caught that man, made it back to balance. And just for unlawful carnal knowledge, I owned 81 people, money, and respect. I admitted to be a little 5150 at times. And since I was born in 1984, I had kept my diver down. But now, I was given a fair warning, and I had to put women and children first. Van Halen for the win. See ya. My name is Jamie. Keep it casual.